Tiger fans, welcome to another episode of Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club. I am the Corey C. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast to be notified of every new episode. We're everywhere you find your podcast, whether it be Spotify, the Apple Podcast app, the Google Podcast app, YouTube, you name it. We're everywhere. So follow the show and tell every Tiger that you know. And remember, when you support Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club, it all helps the cause, which is the I Love Jackson State University. And the holiday season is off and rolling with the NFL in full stride and the NBA and NHL hitting mid-season form. And BetOnline is your number one destination for all your sports wagering info with up-to-the-minute sports wagering news, odds, trends, and predictions. BetOnline is the top spot for everything pro and amateur sports. And not just for the Big Four, BetOnline has info available right at your fingertips with both desktop and mobile access at any time for almost any sport, from MMA to international soccer. Head on over to BetOnline today and remember to use our promo code BELIEVE. That's BLEAV for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. And I have a special guest with me who is a history maker. History, History, and she's here to tell her story, Herstory. None other than Leilani Armenta. Welcome to Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, we're excited to have you. We wanted to have you from the start, but we know you were busy playing football, so we said let's let it get through the season. But as soon as it was over, what did I say? Let's go. I was on you, right? Let's go on the sideline, Leilani. After the season, let's do that. The team up there, Leilani. But no, we're excited for you. I mean, it's just been a great story, a national story. And you're right there at the center of it. And I really don't know where to start, Leilani. I mean, there's so much we can talk about. I'm sure these past couple of months have been a whirlwind for you. And we want to get to all of it. But first, let's just kind of start learning about you, the person. So start us off with a fun fact, an interesting fact, something that the average person probably wouldn't know about you.
A fun fact I would say is, although that I do like play football and I enjoy it, I'm very much like a girly girl on the side. Like I like getting dressed up, I like makeup, I like, so I feel like that'd be a fun fact. Not a lot of people know that, because they just see me on the field and I do like these interviews. I'm in like, gear or something, but yeah, no, I do like to get dressed up. So
that is awesome.
I feel like that's something cool. Yeah.
Love it. All right, so let's take it back. Let's go back to your early days, growing up, things like that. Tell us where you're from, where you grew up, what high school you attended. Be sure to shout them out, things like that.
So I'm Leilani Armenta. I'm a freshman at Jackson State University. I'm from Ventura, California. I went to St. Bonaventure High School where I played soccer. I was a starting kicker on varsity and I ran track. And I came to JSU for my major, journalism and media studies with a sports minor. I want to be a sports broadcaster, so they had a great program, and I felt supported in the classroom, on the field. I started off at JSU on the women's soccer team, and now am a place kicker on the football team under Coach T.C. Taylor, and it's honestly an amazing opportunity, and I'm very blessed, and I've been having a blast, and I had a great season, and I'm very thankful for the fan support, the community support, and just everyone who got to see the journey this year.
Absolutely. Shout out to that Jackson State. Back in my day, it was the mass communications department, broadcast journalism. That was my major as well. And look at me,
nice.
Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club. So looking forward to see where that takes you. Yeah, absolutely. So obviously, you talked about playing multiple sports back in the day. So when did you first realize that you were even into sports?
Yeah, I started soccer at 5 years old. So that was, I've played soccer since then. I started track my 8th grade year, and then I started being a kicker my freshman year of high school. So the sports, I've always had a love for it, but I really, truly found a passion in kicking. And I'm blessed with the opportunity to continue kicking because I had an amazing time doing it in high school and an even better time doing it this season, with Jackson State. So, yeah.
Okay, so you fell in love with sports in general, but it was the kicking that really stood out.
Yeah.
So which sport was it that you fell in love with first? Was it football or soccer?
It was football. I just felt like the impact that it has on young women, on athletes, and people of all ages is remarkable. And not a lot of women get the opportunity to play, let alone at the collegiate level. And I just felt like in my life it made such a huge impact, getting to do something so great that not, a lot of people have the opportunity to do. Not a lot of people get to play college sports, let alone, a female, at the Division I level kicking. So I felt like my first love in sports was really football, just because of the impact it had on myself as an athlete and the people around me.
So with that genuine love at an early age, being a female playing a male sport, mostly obviously football, I know now, and we can talk about this later. Unfortunately, the naysayers, the haters, the people who have negative things to say. Hopefully, you're able to have been able to block that out. But back then, as a kid, were there naysayers and people saying you shouldn't, or you?
Yeah.
How did you handle that? How did you block it out, or did your parents protect you from it?
Yeah. In high school, I had a lot of support, but there was always people on social media that would say stuff. And, you know, there's every time you kick, someone's watching you, whether you have a good kick or you mess up, it doesn't matter. You're a woman, they're going to look at you differently. No, but I really blocked out the hate. Like, again, I was having so much fun in high school, but my senior year of high school, I ended up tearing my ACL. And there was a point where I wasn't sure whether I wanted to go back to sports, what I wanted to do. Really, it's just hard on an athlete as a person to kind of see yourself not be able to walk or do, daily life things. So from then, I kind of just tuned everything out. Like, I really was at rock bottom last year, going through such a tough surgery, and I've worked really hard to get to where I'm at. So, I mean, everyone has something to say regardless. So I just felt like I have a great family, have great support. I mean, Jackson State has been very supportive, so that's all I really need. I just block it out and do my thing, because it's an amazing opportunity that I have. So I want to continue working hard with it.
Absolutely. And going back to those early days, what was your first recollection of playing sports, playing team organized sports competitively?
Yeah, my first, I think it was in club soccer. It was really like, I really enjoy this. Like, I wanted to pursue it in high school. I wanted to pursue it in college. It started with soccer because, like I said, I was 5 years old when I started. And then freshman year, when I started playing football, that's when I was like, I really enjoy this. Like, I enjoy playing. I enjoy the hustle. Like, everyone there, we're all, working towards the same goal of, winning a championship and wanting, to succeed as a team. So I really think my freshman year of high school is when I really was like, I want to pursue this. I've always known I wanted to pursue it, but just seeing a group of guys come together and work so hard on and off the field for one goal, like, that was really cool to be a part of that.
All right. So it's very impressive to play multiple sports on any level, but you played 3 sports. You talked about track as well. So
yes.
talk about balancing 3. Like, how do those seasons even overlap? I can't even picture that. Do you get to compete for all season of all 3 sports?
Yeah. So in high school, I played club soccer, which is year round. So in the first, like, August, through the fall, I started with football. Right after football ended in high school, I went to high school soccer. Right after high school soccer ended in the spring, I went to track. So I was always on the move. It was a lot, but I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed all 3. The main goal was to, like, track was for endurance, and then, soccer I've always played, but really both came together to help me in football, like having the endurance and the ability, mentally and physically to compete with, men in such a amazing high school that I was at. Those 2 sports really helped me become a good kicker and mentally and physically kind of block out the noise and do my job.
And you talked about getting into sports at an early age. So where did they come from in terms of family members? Do you come from an athletic family? Did anyone else in your household play sports?
No, actually, my dad didn't play anything. My mom was a cheerleader, and she did also, like, dancing on the side. I think my grandpa played baseball. My dad's side of the family, I think there's a couple soccer players. I know my mom's side, we have, like, softball, I'm pretty sure, but it wasn't a big thing. Like, we're like, we were not big athletes or anything. Like, my parents didn't play in college or anything. And for me too, when I was younger, I was just having fun with it. I wasn't really sure, but yeah, I think the love, like I said, really came playing competitive sports and then being able to play football. That was like, wow, like, I really want to take this seriously and I want to pursue it, because like I said, had an amazing time in high school on and off the field with those guys. It was truly something amazing.
Wow. So pretty much the first athlete in the family. So what was your family, your immediate family, what was their reaction when they realized our daughter is out here not only playing sports, but she's playing football? Did they accept that right away? Or?
Yeah, I remember, like, my freshman year, my mom and dad, like, they're always been so supportive, through anything, through any sport. They've been there for the ups, the downs, So when I started playing in high school, they were excited. It was cool getting to see them like that. It's not something you see every day, like, a girl kicking. So, but it was really amazing, truly an amazing moment I'll take with me forever. Is they came to the first game I did the opening kickoff at, and like to see them, my brother, they were so excited. But no, my mom and dad are very proud of me, and it's cool to get to see them, get to experience, the vet, Jackson State, the football program. It's really, truly a family at Jackson State. And I'm glad that my family and I are a part of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's go back to that high school football career. Just talk to us about your career playing football in high school. We saw the stats, some eye-opening stats. I don't care if it's a male or female.
Yeah,
so, the social media comments, is that real? Did y'all make up those stats? Those are real stats. So just talk about those days.
Yeah, high school football was great. I started my freshman year. I didn't know anything about kicking. I'm not going to lie. I didn't really watch much football growing up. I kind of YouTubed everything. I had my mom had a family friend. He was really into football, so he kind of taught me. And then I got a kicking coach at my school, Coach Jesse. He kicked at Oregon and Eastern Michigan. So he was a big help in my journey. He kind of taught me all the dynamics, like my plant foot, my hips, the way I kick the ball, like left hash, right hash. But yeah, no, the stats are all true. I was very consistent in high school. It started my freshman year, and then I started varsity on kickoff, field goal, and PAT my sophomore year. And from sophomore, junior, senior year, I was a starting place kicker. Including my senior year, I had a torn ACL, as I mentioned. I ended up playing on my torn ACL. I kicked my whole senior year in my kicking leg. Yeah. I had pain, but I was just so determined. I wasn't sure if I was ever going to step on the field again after high school. So I was like, I really, really want to push myself and play the season. But yeah, it comes from just being consistent, hard work on and off the field. I try to do as many drills as I can, do the motion with and without the ball. It's just honestly being consistent with the work day in and day out. You're not going to just go from kicking one day to, getting better. You have to really follow the steps. And I felt like with my kicking coach, he kind of taught me that. And as long as you believe in yourself and you trust yourself, like you're going to be fine. And that's what he kind of taught me. So going into the game, I knew when they called my name, I was ready. I believe in myself. I had a great snapper, great holder, great team dynamic. So it really is like believing in yourself and having a good support system. I went to a great high school that supported me on and off the field. So I feel like that played a big part in the reason I had the stats that I did.
Right. Now you mentioned seeing the game possibly being taken away from you for good when you had that injury. So it sounds like prior to that, you were expecting to play at the next level. So prior to that injury, when did you think or know that you were good enough to play college sports? And was it soccer or football that you knew would be able to get you to the next level?
Yeah, I actually had offers in both. I took a visit to a school in Wisconsin for football, and that was probably the best visit I've had. It was super cool. Yeah, and I took visits for soccer, but I wasn't really sure. I remember again, it came down to like my major was a school affordable, just different factors like that. And when I had the opportunity to play at Jackson State, I was looking at it both from my academic perspective, but also playing. And I enjoyed both sports. I just had, an opportunity to play at Jackson State, and I didn't want to turn that down. But I really felt like everything happened for a reason because, again, like I didn't know if I was going to be able to kick at college. And now I'm, playing for TC Taylor and Jackson State University, and it's truly a blessing in disguise. And I'm glad I made the decision I did to come to Jackson State because I got even more than I was expecting out of, attending such an amazing school.
So that was a big move, leaving California, the big bright lights coming down to Mississippi. So what was that transition like? Talk about when did you visit before you actually moved into the dorm? Had you visited already, or was that your first time?
Yeah, I've never been to the South nor Mississippi. I visit last year in January was my first time coming out. Definitely different. The whole dynamic was different than what I'm used to. I've never been to the South, and I don't really left California much, just kind of for soccer, some family travels. So, yeah, I did come out for my visit. I liked it. I really did enjoy it. And now that I've done my first semester at Jackson State, I really do. Mississippi has a special place in my heart.
Right.
Like Jackson, Mississippi is it's honestly impacted me in such a great way. And, the community, it's really one big family. Like,
It is.
everybody wants to see you succeed and they want to support you, whether that be on the field, off the field. The alumni is very strong. So this transition, at first was hard being away from my mom and dad. I'm very, family oriented and really, close to my family, but Jackson State really took me in as my family, and I really appreciate that from them.
Right. So what was surprising about Mississippi, something that you weren't expecting, and give me something that you loved right away?
Surprising was the heat. Like, I
Okay.
knew I was going to Mississippi, but I was like, wow. I remember like my preseason when I first got there, I was like, this is intense. Like, I've never experienced anything like it. Something that I love, it's like I said, it's like a family. So it's very like again, people want to see you succeed, but I also I discovered sweet tea. I didn't have that in California, so I absolutely love it in the South. That was a major bonus coming to Mississippi for the first time. That's like off the field, but yeah,
It's funny.
I thought
I
that was
had
super
sweet
cool.
tea with dinner the past 2 nights. That's funny. Yeah, that's a
I
staple.
love it.
Absolutely. Good stuff. So, so you're in Mississippi, obviously, initially to play soccer, but lo and behold, you end up playing football. So talk about that, how that came about. Let's fast forward to the
Yeah,
football season. So,
yeah,
how did you find out that we were without a kicker, and whose idea was it for you to go for it?
yeah. So I'm friends with G Baby Gerardo, our starting kicker, and
Mhm.
Avery Salerno, the long
Okay.
snapper, just from social media. They saw me kick in high school and they reached out to me like, hey, if you ever want to kick, just let us know. And I was like, yeah, I'll probably do a couple of reps. And
That
it
was
was,
prior to
yeah, this was
us not.
prior. This was
Okay.
like in the
Okay.
summer before I even got
Wow.
here. They
Okay.
both,
Got you.
yeah,
Got you.
texted me and were like, hey, welcome. If, you'd like to kick or anything, let us know. And I was like, okay. Um, so G Baby reached out and he was like, hey, like, I'm hurt. And I was like, oh, like, I'm very sorry about that. And then Matt Knoll, our starting punter, ended up getting hurt. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was hearing this, from being at Jackson State. And
Mhm.
then Avery Salerno, the long snapper, reached out. I was like, would you be willing to come out, and I was like, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind coming back. And I remember going to the field, seeing Avery Salerno, the long snapper, Hunter, the other long snapper,
Mhm.
and Coach
Super.
Hammock, and then Coach TC Taylor walked out. I was like, wow, oh my gosh, this is like real. So I did a couple kicks with them. I kind of talked to them about my story. Like I said, I was 10 months at the time post ACL surgery, so I haven't kicked in a while, but I just kind of explained what was going on and everything, and they thought I, was good for the job, and I got the opportunity to kick for them, and it was truly amazing. I remember calling my mom and dad after, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, I told them everything that happened, and it was really cool. It was a moment I'll never forget. Getting the opportunity to kick at such an amazing school and institution, and such a great football program. I was really blessed with the opportunity from them.
And what was the reaction of your parents?
Yeah. Well,
Did
my
they
mom and
know
dad.
prior
Yeah.
to you going out, or did you tell them afterward? Did you tell them after you were already on the
uh
team, or when did you notice?
Yeah, I talked to them. I was like, "Hey, Avery reached out. I'm gonna go out today and kick," and they kind of knew. They were super excited again, like when I kicked in high school, and then I called them and I told them I was like I'm joining, and they were so proud of me. Like they loved going to football games in high
Okay.
school, and my mom and dad they went to the vet for the first time. I think they've been there 3 times now, and they love it. They
They
love
love
the
it.
dynamic. They love the game days, getting to watch me play. Yeah, so I told them right after, like, I went out and talked to the coaches and everyone, and they were beyond excited, and I was like, it was such a cool moment to share with my mom and dad.
Mhm. And talk about your initial conversations with Coach TC, whatever you can share
Hmm.
publicly, how they went, and the
Hmm.
things that he told you.
Yeah, Coach TC Taylor is an amazing coach, amazing man. He really took me in. He didn't look at me any differently. He just saw me as a kicker and was like, "Yep, you're on the team." And our conversations went well. He was very supportive of me, and he wants to see me succeed and be happy. And honestly, I'm very blessed to play for such an amazing head coach like him. He's very supportive, and there's a lot of coaches, who wouldn't take on a female, especially at this level. And I have a lot of respect for him for doing that, but also a lot of respect for him. He protected me from, some of the media at first. He checks in on me. He really is a part of my family. And I really appreciate that from him because he's a great guy, a great coach. And our conversations went well, and he really did believe in me. And that's a part of the reason I wanted to go back to football, because I get to play for someone like Coach TC Taylor. And I remember when I first started kicking, he was like, "Hey, you just worry about the ball. Like, the fans will let you know if it went in. Like, he told me, he's like, hey, I'm here to protect you. And, we got this basically." And he was just very welcoming and respectful. And like I said, an amazing head coach. And he really believed in me. And I'm very thankful for that.
Wow. Wow. And then what about the support from your teammates? Obviously, it's one thing to have that support from your head coach, but how did the team embrace you, and how important was it for you to see them embrace you?
Yeah. I remember the first day I was a little nervous. I'm like, oh, I kicked in high school, but going to, kick in college, that's a whole other ball game. So I was like, okay, but they are like my family, my brothers, my biggest supporters. Like at practice, I'll make PATs and they'll all cheer, and then I'll make a field goal and they'll all come over and high five me. And they're amazing. They're an amazing group of guys, and as long, I'm doing my job, and it doesn't, and they support that. So I appreciate that from them, because like I said, it's the college level, and I am a woman. So for them to be so respectful and so caring, and it really goes to show what type of program we have and what type of school this is. And I really appreciate that from them. They are a great group of guys, like I said, and they're there to hype me up and make sure I'm good. And like the ESPN video showed it a little bit after I made my first PAT. Everybody came and hugged me, and the guys are so excited. So it's also nice to have that support. Like I said, it makes playing fun, and it makes wanting to go to practice and see the guys. It makes it fun. It makes playing again fun.
Yeah, they were genuinely excited. You could tell. I mean,
they were
as excited, if not more excited than you were after those.
Yeah, they were so excited for me, and it was so nice to watch.
Yeah. And the fans as well. We were all cheering you on and supporting. But talk about that fan support from your perspective. What was it like? And give us some examples if you have any.
Yeah, the fan support at Jackson State is amazing. The first time I played in the vet it was surreal. Like to see everyone there and like people cheering for you. Like it's super cool. Like on social media, I get a lot of love from people at Jackson State, alumni, fans of Jackson State. So that's super cool to see. And then after the game, I have young girls that come up to me, people of all ages, and they just were like, hey, thank you. And like, it's an honor to see you. And I just was like, no, thank you for your support, because the support is the reason I continue doing it. I mean, I'm at such a great school, and I feel like the cherry on top is the fans, like they want to see, everybody succeed on and off the field. And I love that from Jackson State. And truly, it's really cool to get to see, a school that really cares about everyone.
Yeah. You talked about the fans reaching out to you on social media. Did you have to shut your social media off? I can imagine just blowing up the followers, the messages.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Yeah. At first I was like, wow, like this is, it was cool. Like to get to see all the support and stuff. No, I try to make it a habit. Kind of everybody that reached out to me, I wanted to reach back out and say thank you for your support, greatly appreciated. I made sure I did that because growing up, I watched, people play soccer, people play football, and those are my idols. And if someone looks up to me like that, I want to be, respectful and thankful for them, because without them, I wouldn't be here today. So I made sure every DM that I got, almost every DM I got, almost every Twitter that I got, I either reposted it, I said thank you, I liked it, because I just want to show my gratitude towards the fans.
Wow. And I bet that went to another level after you made those kicks. I know a lot of people got on board, not just because it became a national story then. So we're not just talking about Jackson State fans, but national. So I can imagine. Talk about the emotions of that day. Did you know beforehand that they would be putting you in for those extra points, or did you find out on the spot?
Yeah, that week, Coach Taylor was mentioned that, hey, how you feeling? And I was like, I'm feeling good. And he's like, I'm going to put you in. And I was like, okay. So I was just, okay, I warmed up. I got ready on the sideline, and I was just kind of waiting for my name to be called. And then I think it was after the second quarter or so. I think that's when I had I got put on PAT, and then I went 3 for 3 that game. And the emotions, it was so cool. Like, it was so cool to be able to kick. at Jackson State, at the at the collegiate level. Like it was truly an amazing moment, and I'm very thankful that I had the opportunity, and I'm going to continue working hard for more. So it was a very, very amazing moment.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, yeah, it's been an amazing story. We've just enjoyed following it from the moment that we found out up until this point. I don't know, and I'm not going to put you on the spot and ask you what the future holds for you.
Mm-hmm.
We'll patiently wait for information, announcement, or whatever the case may be. We'll wait for that. But whatever direction you go in, you know that the Jackson State community, the Jackson State fan base is behind you 100%. So, what message do you have? They're all listening. They're all watching. What do you want to say to the fans?
I want to say to the fans that I greatly appreciate all of the support. We have the best fans in the country, and I'm very thankful for the opportunity to be playing at Jackson State and being able to get a degree here. Very blessed for the opportunity to be a part of the football program and to continue with that. And I just want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you to everyone who got to, watch the season, and thank you to everyone who supported me, because it means a lot to me, and I'm going to continue working hard, and we'll see what's next.
Absolutely. Well, we want to thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure. It's been an honor talking to the history maker herself. So continue the great work on the field, in the classroom, and again, we'll be following you 100% along the way. Ladies and gentlemen, Leilani Armenta, thank you for joining Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club. Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club is presented by Bet Online.